Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Now, I say this a lot in my vlogs, that it's not going to be a long one, but tonight is really not going to be a long one. I have like an hour left of my audiobook, and I really want to finish it. I drove around today running errands that I could have waited till tomorrow to do because I wanted to listen to my audiobook because it's so good. It is so fantastic. And I feel really blessed to have had two books back to back. Killer Clown was great too, but Killer Clown was nowhere as good as this. I literally have listened to this book in like 2.5 days. And so if you're looking for a really good book this summer, it's Recursion, R-E-C-U-R-S-I-O-N, and it's by Blake Crouch. And I actually was looking on Audible. I went back and I bought he has a series called Wayward Pines, which they made into a TV show. I bought the first one. I'm going to read the whole series, I think. And so he has tons of books out, but the last book that he read, Dark Matter, which turned me into a lover of his books, I thought it came out in like 2017, but it actually came out in 2016. It came out in July of 2016, or at least the audio version of it did. And that was like a 5 out of 5 for me. This one is even better than that one was. And it's like, very rarely do I read a book that is so fantastic, especially by an author that has written quite a few books, and then his next book is just as good or even better than that one. You know, like that very rarely happens to me. So I was super excited to find this book, you know, and like get into it. It literally just came out like a week ago. I think it came out like a week ago Tuesday, and I bought it last weekend, and then I started listening to it this week. It's very scary though. It's about well, I don't really want to tell you what it's about, but I will say this. It is kind of science. You'll have to trust me that it's good. But it is kind of science fiction. It is science fiction. So, but not science fiction like spaceships and aliens and all that. It's more like science, like physics and fiction, if that makes sense. And like, and you know what's interesting is that, like, I don't really understand a lot of those concepts, right? Like, those kind of physics concepts are really out of my realm of understanding. I'm just not that bright. But the way that he explains stuff, he tells it in such layman's terms that it makes it really, really easy to understand. And this book is so good. I mean, it is so, so, so good. So, Recursion by Blake Crouch, go get it. And if you want a book that you can't put down. I bought 2 books actually today on Audible because I wanted to turn around and like read something that was just as good. And the next book that I got, well, I got the first one in the Wayward. I got 2 books. I got the first one in the Wayward Pines series that Blake Crouch actually wrote, that they turned that into a TV show. I might just turn around and listen to that one next. It's only like 8 hours, which for me is like 4 hours. But then I also got, it's about this book. It's this book about this girl, and she is from like the Deep South, and she's African American, and her dad like is killed or something. And then she leaves and doesn't come back. She's like a little kid, and she leaves and doesn't come back for like 30 years. And then she inherits his land or something, so she goes home. And I feel like it's called something Cone, C-O-N-E. I'll pull in here and tell you what it's called in just a second. And so she goes home, and there's like rumors in the townspeople that she went missing the same time that her dad was killed or something like that. The thing is that it's narrated by Bonnie Turpin, and Bonnie Turpin is probably, if not my favorite, one of my 2 or 3 favorite narrators on Audible. She's kind of, to me, like she's such a well-known narrator of a lot of these fans. She like narrated The Hate U Give. She also narrated On the Come Up, both by Angie Thomas. And then she narrated The Underground Railroad by Colton Whitehead. And then there was another one that she narrated that I loved. She's just a fantastic narrator. So I think she very much picks and chooses which pieces she narrates. So I have a hard time believing that she would narrate something that wasn't, like, fantastic. And so then when I saw that, I was listening to a little Rascal Flatts before I started vlogging. I bought Pines, which is the first book in the Blake Crouch series, The Wayward Pines. And then I bought The Gone. Oh, it's called it looks like The Cone Dead on the cover, but it's called The Gone Dead by Chanel Benz. I'll read it to you. The Gone Dead. I think it's her debut book. Oh, an electrifying first novel from a riveting new voice in American fiction. A young woman returns to her childhood home in the American South and uncovers secrets about her father's life and death. Billy, hold on a second. Oh, NPR picked it up? Secrets kept by the gone dead haunt the living. Oh, Entertainment Magazine picked it up. This is going to be a big deal. This is going to be a big deal. Okay. Here, I'll pull it up on Goodreads. It'll have, like, the most. I've never even heard of this book. It just literally came out in fiction. Well, I don't know what it pulled up here, but The Good Dead. The Good Dead. Why is it not pulling this up? Chanel. It's not pulling it up. What is the deal? Why is it not on, This is crazy to me. It's everywhere except for on Goodreads. Chanel Benz. I'm gonna go there and see if it pulls up her name. Chanel. It looks like it's gonna start raining out. It's been lightning. Oh, here it is. The Gone Dead. I'm gonna put it on my want to read so that I can. If you're not on Goodreads, like, you can put on, like, want to read. You have, like, all these different bookshelves you can put it in. Okay. It only has 81 ratings. When did it come out? June 25th, 2019. It literally just came out. It doesn't have that high of a score. It's 3.65 out of 5. An electrifying first novel from a riveting new voice in American fiction, George Saunders. A young woman returns to her childhood home in the American South and uncovers secrets about her father's life and death. Billy James' inheritance isn't much. A little money in a shack in the Mississippi Delta. The house once belonged to her father, a renowned black poet who died unexpectedly when Billy was 4 years old. Though Billy was there when the accident happened, she has no memory of that day, and she hasn't been back to the South since. 30 years later, Billy returns, but her father's home is unnervingly secluded. Her only neighbors are the McGees, the family whose history has been entangled with her since the days of slavery. As Billy encounters the locals, she hears a strange rumor that she herself went missing on the day her father died. As the mystery intensifies, she finds out that this forgotten place of her past could put her in danger. Inventive, gritty, and open-hearted, The Gone Dead is an astonishing debut novel about race, justice, and memory that lays bare the long-concealed wounds of a family and a country. Sounds so good, doesn't it? Yeah, people aren't giving it good ratings. I wonder what that's about. Here, I'll read you the one I'm reading right now. I'm like, what is it called? Like, oh, Recursion. I guess I didn't even need to look it up because it's on my books of what I'm reading right now. Recursion by Blake Crouch. It has a 4.31 rating. Did I ever read this to you guys? Memory makes reality. That's what New York City cop Barry Sutton is learning as he investigates the devastating phenomenon that media has dubbed false memory syndrome, a mysterious affliction that drives its victims mad with memories of a life they never had. Neuroscientist Helena Smith already understands the power of memory. It's why she's dedicated her life to creating a technology that will let us preserve our most precious memories of our pasts. If she succeeds, anyone will be able to re-experience the first kiss, the birth of a child, the final moment with a dying parent. As Barry searches for the truth, he comes face to face with an opponent more terrifying than any disease, a force that attacks not just our minds, but the very fabric of the past. And as its effects begin to unmake the world as we know it, only he and Helena, working together, will stand a chance at defeating it. But how can they make a stand when reality itself is shifting and crumbling all around them? I mean, this book, you guys, is like, it is unbelievable. Like, it really makes you think a lot about your reality, as well as, like, what our ideas of memories are, time travel, past, present, what is life. I mean, and it reminds me a lot of some, like, epic movies that are about time travel and things. It's about time travel, kind of, but not really. Years and years and years ago, I read this book. I actually have it on Audible, and I haven't listened to it because I wanted to reread it. And I bought a copy on Amazon years ago in case it went out of print, because this guy hasn't made any more hasn't written any more books in the last like 10 years, and his name's Ken Grimwood. And he wrote a book called Replay. I don't know how I found this book. I don't remember the first time I picked it up. It may be horrible, because that was just, you know, every time I like reread a book that I remember from the past that I read that I thought was phenomenal, like Endless Night by Richard Lehman, it ends up being horrible. But this one wasn't. And, well, I don't know, I haven't reread it yet, but the first time I picked it up, it was fantastic. And literally in the first chapter, the guy dies. And then he goes back, and he is, like, in his bed when he was, like, 12 years old, and he relives his whole life over again. And then at the very end, he, like, dies again. And it's him reliving his life over and over and over and over again, replaying his life, basically. And trying to figure out, like, what he's learned from the past life and things like that. And I just remember being so moved by that book. Today it was kind of freaking me out, because I was like kind of comparing the books in my head. And you all know that I talk a lot about like spiritualism and psychics and things like that, and I believe a lot in the afterlife. And I was thinking to myself, why am I so attracted to these books about like reliving your life over and over and over again? And like even when I read like, you know, Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss, who was the psychiatrist that talked about past life regression, and as a psychiatrist, not as a psychic medium or anything like that. I mean, he did it when he was doing psychiatric or psychotherapy with somebody, hypnotherapy with somebody. All of a sudden, these memories from a past life were coming out. And so he wrote it in his book, Many Lives, Many Masters, which my friend told me to read, and it was really a good read. No pun intended about Goodreads, but it was a great book. And but I've been very attracted to these books in my life that are about past lives, or time travel, or reliving your life over again. And you know, I don't know if that's maybe my desire as a person in recovery to wish I could turn back time, or you know, just life in general. But I have to say that, with the exception of wishing I had more time, you know, on this earth, I don't really think much about going back in time and wishing I could do it all over again. Like, I'm not that person. I mean, maybe sometimes I am, but by and large, I'm not that person that says, you know, I wish I could go back to high school and do it all over again. I don't feel that way. You know, I feel like there are definitely moments in my life that I wish I could do over. But you know, it's also that idea of like, what was that movie back in the day? It was horrible, with Gwyneth Paltrow, called Sliding Doors or something, where like in a moment you make like Well, this is kind of what Blake Crouch's Dark Matter is about, in all honesty. That, like, you know when you're sitting in a stoplight and you're like, okay, should I take the long way or should I take the short way? And your gut tells you, like, take the short way. And then you wonder, like, well, if I had gone the other way, what would have happened? But it would have, like, honestly, inevitably changed destiny for you, right? Who knows who you would have met along that way or what it would have happened. Maybe it would change destiny. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe you got home 5 minutes later than you were supposed to. But it changes your destiny, right? And so literally each decision that we're making changes our destiny of our lives, so to speak. And, you know, it's an interesting theory that, you know, I think about it with, like, meeting people. Because much of my life when I meet people, it is totally random. You know, that, like, had I not been in the right place at the right time, I wouldn't have met that person to become friends with them. You know, it's like, well, if I had, you know, never had my recovery dog that I was taking to Tanya's kennel, I would never have met Tanya, period. And if I'd never gotten sober, I would never have had that dog. But if I'd never gotten sober, Tanya and I never would have been friends anyway. So could I have maybe ran into her at a meeting sometime? Yeah. But I wasn't really going to meetings where she was going. You know, I think about, like, Melissa and Jason, how, like, we just randomly met them out one night, and the fact that we were at a place, we probably would have met them at another time, but I don't know that the friendship would be the same. And, you know, even, like, with Alex, meeting Alex, like, Alex, this is so weird, you guys. He said to me the other day, this is where, like, therapy has really changed Alex a lot. He's a very emotional person. He looks at the world in different ways now. I think I never, like, every person I've ever dated has no spiritual belief, and I just kind of leave it up to them, whatever, but he's kind of, I think, more open to some ideas at this point. But he said to me the other day something about us being soulmates, and I said, but you don't believe in that? Because when we first met, Alex was like, I said something about, I wish, you know, like, do you believe in soulmates or whatever? And he was like, no, I don't believe in soulmates. And it kind of crushed me when he said it, because I love the idea of soulmates, you know? And these two girls that actually used to work for Tanya way back when I first met her, they were a lesbian couple, and the story's kind of sad because they're not together anymore, but they got dragonfly tattoos because apparently dragonflies mate for life, and so they got matching dragonfly tattoos, which I loved that. But when Alex and I first met, I said something to him about being soulmates, and he was like, yeah, I don't really believe in that. And I was like, you don't believe in us being soulmates? Because I knew that if he didn't believe in it, then we weren't soulmates. You know what I mean? Like, but I also wasn't going to not get in a relationship because somebody didn't believe in soulmates. And he said, no, he goes, I've talked about this even on here recently. And he said, I believe that, you know, we come across each other's paths at a certain time, and it's like good timing for us, and that it just has to happen that way, you know, or it just happens to happen that way. And but like then the other day he was like, no, I really do feel kind of like we're soul connected. And which was weird to me, like he had said that, because he had never said that before, you know. Yeah, makes you wonder about just life and meeting people, and, you know, were you supposed to meet somebody and you happen to not be at this place at a, you know, a certain place at a certain time. If you've ever seen the movies with what's his face, Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, I love those movies. Before Sunrise, it's Before Sunrise, After Sunset, and Before Sunrise. Before Sunset, I think. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, they're so good. I think they're by Richard Linklater, who also did Dazed and Confused, which is another one of my favorite movies. And he also did the movie with Patricia Arquette about a boy or whatever, where the kid grows up over time, and they filmed the movie actually in real time, like over the period of like 18 years, you know what I'm talking about? Or 13 years or 15 years or something, I don't know. They filmed it over a long period of time. He is a genius director, but the first movie is with Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke, and they meet on a train, and she's going to Paris to fly, or she's from Paris, and so she's going back to Paris, and he's an American, and I can't remember where they stop, But they get off, and it's, I don't remember what town it is. Maybe, like, I want to say, like, well, it wouldn't be Prague. That wouldn't make sense. But I can't remember where. But anyway, they get out and they go all over the city, and they're walking around and things like that. And I'm not going to ruin it for you if you've never seen it before. But needless to say, they make plans to meet down the road. And that's how the movie ends. But with, like, really no they say through the whole movie they're not going to have any expectations. Like, they're not going to exchange their information because people don't end up ever following up with that, which there's so much truth to that, right? You know? I was thinking about that the other day, that, like, I think that's one of the saddest things in life. You know, it's like when Alex and I, you know, a year ago, we went to the Dominican Republic. And we stayed at that Secrets Cap Cana. And I remember, like, all Alex wanted to do was do this catamaran trip, or, yeah, to this island. That was where they supposedly filmed parts of Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that. You guys, if you watch the vlogs from last year, you'll know what I'm talking about. He really wanted to do that. I even filmed part of going to this island. I filmed and put in the vlogs. It was gorgeous. I should go back and watch some of those. And, like, I really didn't want to do it. Like, I love just staying around the hotel, and I just really, I'm not a big person that likes to do excursions anyway. It kind of makes me a little nervous. And I definitely don't know, like, now with people turning up, you know, missing and dead in the Dominican Republic, I probably definitely wouldn't do that. So we did it. And I remember that morning, I was, like, so tired, and we were waiting, and we got on the boat, and we were sitting there, and somehow we started just talking to these people on the boat, and we ended up becoming friends with, like, these, like, 4 women and their husbands. Like, I mean, by the end of the day, we had, like, inside jokes and everything, and we went dancing with them that night. We all met up for dinner, or, like, after dinner, and we went dancing and had coffee, and then the next day, we all hung out at the pool and stuff together. No, I think the next day was their last day, and they went home or something. I can't remember how it was, but it was like, you know, like, we, like, all knew each other. We became, like, really, really close friends, literally, in, like, one day. Like, I mean, we had all these private jokes and inside jokes that we were all telling. It was, I mean, you know, it was like, we were that group that was so annoying on the trip, because it was like we had known each other forever. And they did. They were all from the same town, and I remember, like, one of them was a school principal, and we had such a fun time with them, you know? And we all exchanged, like, they were friends on Facebook and stuff like that, but I wouldn't even know who they are to look them up now, in all honesty. I wouldn't know their names to look them up. And, you know, it's weird. And, like, they were so much fun, and we had such a good time with them. And, like, that kind of stuff happens all the time. It's like with me doing the judging the other day. It's like, or the other week. It's like, you know, the day or two after, we were all, like, kind of texting each other in this group text, you know? And I knew, and this is why, like, there's kind of, like, a sadness about me, I think, sometimes. You know, it's weird. This is where I think, like, I've said this before, like, when people talk about life cycles and stuff, I've always, like, had a hard time with endings. And, I've always kind of wondered, like, whenever I started going to psychics or whatever, and they would tell me what life cycle I was on, I always kind of wonder if this is not my last life cycle, because every ending for me seems really like an ending to me. Not just an ending of, like, hey, we're leaving a hotel, but, like, it really feels like an ending to me. And that could also be just having attachment issues or whatever, but when I was a little kid, I played hockey. My mom used to tell this story a lot, and I hated hockey. I don't remember loving it at all. I don't remember liking anything about it. I had to get up super, super early for it, and my dad would take me and stuff. My mom and I was, like, older than all the other kids. The whole thing I just did not like, I remember. And so we, like, had this banquet, and it was like, oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. So we had this banquet, and it was like this hockey banquet, you know, at the end of the season. I don't even remember how old I would have been, in all honesty. First grade, second grade, I don't know. I think, I used to think it was like 6th grade, but I don't think I was that, I couldn't have been that old. I was like 1st or 2nd grade. It was when I was young. And I kind of got into it because all of my dad's friends' kids played hockey and stuff. I don't know how old I was, but anyway. but my team was called the North Stars. And my mom said that, like, after the banquet, you know, like, you at the end of, like, a sports season, you have, like, a banquet. She said I got in the car, and I just was, like, bawling, and I was like, I'm never gonna see my North Stars again, and I was, like, real upset about it and stuff, you know? And, like, in a weird way, that's kind of how I was when I left the pageant, you know? I was, like, we got so, I like that feeling of being that close, you know, with somebody and having, like, a close group of friends. But I just wish I had that where it didn't have to, like, end. And I think on, like, maybe more of, like on more of an internal level, I think one of the reasons why it bothers me a lot is that Tanya and I had that. You know, Tanya and I had a group, and it was Tanya and myself and our other really good friend, and, you know, with 2 really good friends. There was 4 of us, and then this other girl that was in the group, and this other woman, and then another guy, and 2 other guys. And, you know, so there was, like, at any given time, there was, like, 6 to 8 of us, and we went out to eat every week together, and we traveled, and we went to meetings, and we sat on Tanya's patio, I mean, literally till, like, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, played games, and had deep, deep conversations. But there was no parting of the ways. There was no just one day, like, you know, there was no banquet. There was no Saturday night at the pageant and saying goodbye to everybody with a pizza party. It just was over. And, you know, my one friend moved, and then the other friend of ours hadn't really been going to meetings anyway, and she just kind of gradually floated off and started using again. And then my other friend, like, he's not from this side of town, and so when we all stopped going out to dinner, he kind of stopped, and then it was just Tanya and I, and, you know, it just, like, over time, Tanya and I woke up one day and we realized it was us, you know? And, I had the weirdest feeling the other day. I, like, drove by the kennel on the way to pick her up. And when I looked at the kennel when I was, like, driving by, I had this weird feeling like I was, almost like I was talking to somebody and telling them, like, that's where my best friend used to own. And I, you know, I was like, it was weird. It was like this feeling that I had. And I got to her and I said, can I ask you a question? She was like, yeah. And I said, you're not, like, thinking about selling the kennel or something, like, and moving anytime soon, are you? And she goes, why do you say that? And I said, well, I know you, because they talk about moving to Florida or Tennessee and stuff like that. I said, I just had this really weird gut feeling, like, tonight when I drove by. And she goes, well, I mean, we've kind of talked about some things. And I just was like, you know, I just wish some things could stay static. I wish some things didn't have to change, you know? I'm not good with, I don't think a lot of people are great with change. I don't know, like, you know, the thing is, I was, like, looking at some social media. Instagram is no way to live your life by watching people on Instagram. It's all just such a lie, right? Like, I was looking at this one guy that I follow, and he was at some gym opening in New York City. Like, this is just the fraudulence of social media, right? And I was looking at it, and his posts always seemed pretty honest to me, you know, of what he's doing. And he was standing by this pool, and he was like, oh, I'm a member of this pool, and you're this club, and I've been a member of the club since, like, such and such day, and I love their club. And I was like, I want to be a member of that club. Like, you know, like, it was like this, like, gym club or whatever, but it looked really, really nice. And I was like, well, that's really cool. And it looked like they had, like, an Olympic-sized pool outside and stuff. So then I'm, like, 3 down, and it's this couple that I've, like, followed them on Instagram forever. So does Alex. They're, like, these fashion bloggers, and they're, like, literally standing on the same pool, okay, like, probably 10 feet away. And they're, like, their post was, like, we've been a member of this club since 2014, and they're, you know, now we need, and I was like, they literally posted the exact same thing, like, almost identical. It's like somebody just gave them, like, a paragraph and said, here, just put in your dates instead. And they didn't hashtag that it was an ad, which is BS. And I was like, none of these people live real lives, you know, they just don't. It's all, and, like, you know, then I'm comparing I just switched topics. I don't even know how I did that. Story of my life. But I was like, you know, they don't even live real lives. You know, it's like, I'm, like, looking in the background of this one picture, and I'm seeing, like, 3 other influencers, which I hate that word. It drives me crazy. It's just such a bullshit word. Your job is to influence other people to buy something. What is that? Like, I don't get that. Anyway, Your job is to influence other people to purchase something that you yourself don't even want, that you get paid to act like you like, but you don't even announce that it's an advertisement. At least when we watch TV, when a commercial comes on TV, we know that it's an advertisement. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be for real. And I don't have a problem with people doing sponsorships. And I'd do a sponsored video if I would listen, people can hate me for it, and I don't really care because I think it's like commercials. If somebody wanted to pay me for every video that I posted on every channel that I post, and I held up it seems like this is always my example, but if I held up a ginormous, humongous chapstick at the beginning of each video and said, Mountain Dew humongous chapstick lip balm or whatever is sponsoring this video, go buy one, for every single video, I'd be okay with that, okay? Just let us know that it's a commercial. You don't have to BS and act like you love this thing, right? And then it's these people's Instagrams that are so fake, because then I got real irritated, right? And so I started like going through their Instagrams, because I followed both these people for a long time, and I was like, well, is all their Instagram crap like that? And then I'm starting to see that all their Instagram is crap like that. It's not real memories of a real life. It's all these contrived memories where somebody has said, hey, you need to come to this restaurant, or you need to come here. And you can see when you read the things, but I don't really always read the things. I just look at the pictures and I'm like, oh, I want to go there. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. It's all just BS life, you know? And then we compare our lives to that, and we think like that's what life is, you know? Psh. It isn't. Which then what it really is making other people feel bad for a life that they don't really have, you know? Anyway, I don't know why I let that bother me. But have you ever been like having like a shitty day and you stroll through Instagram? Like, that's when it's the worst for me. It's when I'm just like not feeling my greatest, you know, and I look in the mirror and I look like I got about 3 hours of sleep and I just don't feel well, and, you know, I'm being super critical of myself and whatever. And then I look on there and they're like, life is perfect. Oh my God, if you were me, your life would be perfect. And I just want to go shove it up your ass. You know what I mean? Like, I just get so pissed. I sometimes unfollow people for that stuff. I really do. If your life is too perfect, I just unfollow you on Instagram. I just don't need to see that. I like to see a little bit of messiness. You know what I mean? I like to see some reality. I mean, mine is literally, okay, if you go to my Instagram, I don't know why I'm even saying anything about this. My Instagram is literally like this, okay? I mean to tell you, 9 million pictures of me like this. Every picture, okay? Turtle, turn, prune. That's literally like every picture on my Instagram. I mean, do y'all think that I walk around all day long like this? I don't, okay? Just so you know, I don't. And sometimes I get real irritated when somebody's like, okay, we're gonna take a picture, and then I have to stand there in that pose forever. It's like every picture looks the same. But then people are like, just because like Alex always says to me, whenever you're like laughing or whatever, like you're genuinely like, you know, like really happy, like he's like, that smile is so cute to me, but I hate that smile because it shows my teeth, and I just like, I don't smile with my teeth a lot. I'm like, it's like, I always notice like when Liliana says to Carlito, she's like, smile, and he's like, he does this kind of like what he thinks a smile is supposed to be, and that's how I feel when I'm smiling. It's like, you know, I don't know, give me a face full of veneers and maybe I'd smile like Julia Roberts too, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like I like my smile that much, and so I always just give this little smirk, and then people are always like, oh, that smirk. I'm like, well, that's about as good as I have in a smile. I think Instagram and all of it has just screwed us up. I was talking to Tanya the other night. She was telling me, I was talking to her last night, and she was telling me about somebody that's in Facebook jail, and I said, oh, is that like where they can't post anything? She's like, yeah, for 5 days they won't let him post anything because he got so political on the Facebook. And I said, that is so ridiculous to me. We got laughing so hard about it. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I kind of missed what he was saying on the Facebook. And I said, why? I said, I didn't even see what he posted. And she said, it just would crack me up. She was like, because you could tell he would just say stuff to piss people off, and then they would come back, and they would like, and then people take it so seriously. It's like, oh, we all want to take ourselves so seriously anymore, don't we? We want to take our lives so seriously. Everything is so serious. Everything, you know? It's like, I was laying in bed with Alex tonight because, well, so when he came home, I finished my videos and whatever, and fed the dogs, and PB is just not, he did not do well today. He was like, I gave him his medicine this morning, and then I think the heat was too much for him. I like made sure that he was only out there for a couple minutes, but like it's 75 right now. It was like 90 today, and I just think it was too much for his little heart. And he came inside, he was just kind of walking around, but he wouldn't sit downstairs where it was cooler, because like our main floor is really cool. He kept on going to the top of the stairs and laying at the top of the stairs, excuse me, because I closed those bedroom doors. So I'd be like, come on, Pee-Pee, come downstairs. And I go up there and I check on him, you know, and I sit down the stair and he wouldn't come down. Well, finally, like half an hour later, he threw up. Like, it was just like this clear liquid, but it had like all 3 of his pills in it. Like perfect. Like they hadn't even like gone down or anything, right? And I was like, damn it. Because like he needs those pills and he's been coughing a lot lately. Well, so I waited, because then he just was like, looked at me like, Dad, I just don't feel well. I felt so bad for him, little guy. And so then I waited like, I don't know, like a half an hour, 40 minutes. I think I filmed my Peterisms video then. I can't remember. But anyway, maybe I did. I can't remember what order I filmed him in. But then I came back and I got him, and he looked like he felt a little bit better. And he had some water. And so I put him on the counter and I gave him his medicine. He ate it right up. We're giving it to him with Cheese Whiz now. Okay, let me just tell you. I don't know who told me to do this with Cheese Whiz. I think it was Tanya. I can't remember. Tanya or Melissa. But we literally put the pills on the counter, put Cheese Whiz over it, and he licks them both up. I mean, it is like that quick. And the third one is bigger. And today, Alex was like, you can do the third one with that too, because I had been pilling it. But Alex was like, he'll eat it up with the Cheese Whiz if you just put the big one down too. So I did, and he ate all 3 of them. And then I had to make sure that he ate it, and I gave him like, but then he wouldn't eat his dinner tonight. He was being real, like, he just wouldn't eat his dinner. He just wouldn't eat it. And, but I've never seen him do this, and last night we had his dinner plate down. He's not eating like a lot of his food anymore. And, you know, and I don't know. And I hope this isn't the beginning of the end. The thing is, when he's not coughing, he seems perfect. He seems completely fine. He, like, you know, runs around and plays. And, like, tonight in bed, he was just being like a puppy, you know? He was being hilarious. But, like, last night, I was sitting on the chair and I was, like, looking at something. And Boo Radley came running around the corner and Pee-Pee was like, argh! And I'd never seen him like that. Like, never seen him kind of, like, vicious almost. And Boo Radley, you could tell, looks scared. Like, Boo Radley doesn't understand stuff like that. He just doesn't understand it. And, like, he gets very scared when dogs bark or growl at him. He like, backs up. I mean, he gets very scared by that stuff. And you could tell he was scared. He didn't know why Pee-Pee was mad at him. And I said, Alex, I said, Pee-Pee, no, Pee-Pee. And Alex said, what did he do? And I said, he was, like, came and attacked Boo Radley. Pee-Pee has never acted that way. Never. And he said he does it now when they try to eat his food. Okay, so, because we separate the dogs. Like, Pee-Pee eats in the kitchen, Tucker eats in the hallway, and Boo Radley eats downstairs. And we put their food on plates, okay? These dogs are treated like they're in a 5-star restaurant. So, Pee-Pee will go and he'll eat like a bite of it and then walk away and snub it like he doesn't want it, right? I think tomorrow I'm going to buy him some chicken and rice so that he can get something to eat, because he just is being a snob about this food. And the other thing is, he knows he gets that cheese. See, he eats that cheese up right away, but he won't eat that canned food. He doesn't like it. So then we put it down, we take it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down, and he'll eat a little bit of it and then walk away. I don't know. He's probably fine, but like, we were sitting there in bed tonight and Alex was watching Riverdale and he was being real sweet and he was rubbing my back and I was laying down for a little bit and Pee-Pee and the dogs were being so sweet, and Alex like stopped the TV and we were talking and he said, because he was watching it on the TV. We like hardly ever watch the TV in our bedroom, and Alex started like watching Netflix on the TV in there. Oh, by the way, If you guys were around on my vlog when Girls Incarcerated was on the first time about Indiana Girls School, and it was in Madison, Indiana, and now it's in Portage, Indiana, or LaPorte, Indiana, it's back. Season 2, it is back. Man, it takes me back to when I was the liaison between treatment and the Department of Corrections. And these are the girls that I used to have on my caseloads and stuff like this when I used to work in residential treatment. I got real teary-eyed watching it today because this one girl in the first episode, she identifies as an addict, and she's like, I'm so scared I'm going to get out of here and do the same thing again, and I just want something more for myself. Of course, Tanya already told me the entire season in 5 minutes. I was like, Tanya, don't tell me anything. She's like, well, blah, 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 whatever. She watched the whole thing in like one afternoon. I don't know how people do that. Y'all like Netflix and chill and just sit there and watch the whole thing in a half an hour. But anyway, we were laying there in bed, and I was said something to Alex about gratitude. Oh, I made my Peterisms video about gratitude today, and Alex has been keeping a gratitude list, and recently I had recommended it to him when his friend Jason passed away, you know, and Alex said to me, like, what's something that has really, like, positively changed your life? Because he was really struggling during that time. And I said, making gratitude lists on a daily basis and really looking at what, you know, not taking things for granted in my life, what I'm truly grateful for. And so he got a notebook and he started doing a gratitude list on a daily basis. I mean, it is life-changing to do gratitude lists and to practice gratitude in your life. It really is. And so he said something about gratitude today, and I looked at him and because yesterday I just was so exhausted. I was dragging so bad yesterday. I was having such a hard time. And he goes, was today better? And I said, today was great. I said, last night before I went to bed, I washed my face with well, anyway, what I said to him was, yeah, I told him my whole day and everything, and I said, you know, and PP was sitting right there, and he was kind of like sitting like with like my arm around him and like just listening to us talk. And I said, every extra day that I have with PP, I feel really, really grateful for, you know, because he makes me so happy. The dogs make me so happy. You make me so happy that like I don't want to ever feel like I have to have so much more than all of this, because at the end of the day, like, this is really what makes me the happiest. Not standing by some pool in New York City at a club that I got asked to go to because I'm an influencer. Like, that shit really doesn't it's fun, okay? But, like, that doesn't really make me happy, you know? And I don't want to forget that. And that's why gratitude, I have to do that stuff, because it brings me back to what is important in my life. Not that they're not living great lives. I'm happy for those people. You know, they probably are, even though they're fake-ass lives. But you know what I mean? Oh, look, there's an ambulance over here. This retirement home. That always makes me so sad. But I am. And I said, and PP's going to live to be 18. I said, don't tell me he's not. He's going to live to be 18 years old. I will say one of the things that has really, I think, helped is that we don't treat him like he's super sick, you know? And I do need to make a vet appointment to do like a check-in with him, though, because with our vet for PP, because we haven't gone to her in a while. And we're supposed to go like every year, every 6 months, but I'm just going to take him in. Because she said I would like to see him make it to 13 and a half, and that will be October. And which I don't think about that on a daily basis. I think about it every day, that October is when she forecasted that she would like to, if he made it there, she would be super happy, you know? And then when I went in there in December and she said, did I tell you? She goes, well, I thought he wouldn't make it past 6 months. She's like, I can't believe he's made it this far, you know? And that was a year and a half ago that we went in there. And we have been diligent about this medicine. We have watched him very closely. We have watched his food. And I also have to say that I think that Boo and Tucker are really, really good for him. I think they keep him young. I think, you know, PP is happiest when Alex and I are laying in bed. He really is. Like, he's so happy at the end of the day when he just sits there on the end of the bed and licks and plays with his toys. And, you know, and he seems perfectly fine. His cough scares me. It's changed. It doesn't sound the way that it used to, which is why I need to take him to the vet. It's not horrible. It's actually not as harsh as it used to be, but that scares me because I don't know what that means. And then I've had other people that told me that their dog had what PP had for 5 years and they were completely fine. I don't know. I just don't want him to be in pain, you know? And he doesn't seem like he's in pain right now, but... So anyway, last night when I got home from doing the vlog, and I listened to my audiobook for another hour because it is so good, you guys. But when I got home, I look at this cup. I forgot that I had this gold Starbucks cup. So the other one that broke, that's just clear, it must have been red. Do you see it's like gold glitter? A gold glitter. Anyway, that was my rendition of Goldfinger. But when I got home last night, I was like, I have not been doing my nighttime or morning ritual in quite some time now. And I don't mean like my prayers and meditations. I still do all that. But I was talking about like my skincare regimen. And it, you know, it really relaxes me. It makes me feel so much happier. Plus, I think like, okay, starting in July, after my birthday, July 1st, I really want to work on my health. This is my goal for the next year. My health, my peace and serenity, I want to continue. But I also want to like read a self-help book every month. And I want to do my skincare regimen every day, every morning and every night, diligently for a year straight. I want to drink like a gallon of water every day for a year straight. I want to really work diligently on positivity, serenity, and calmness in my life and take it from where it's at now and boost it even further through the roof. I feel like I accomplish more in my life, that more comes to me naturally when I am in a state of peace and gratitude and serenity. And I really want to continue to push and work that far. But I also want to work on my physical health. My physical health is what I really want to focus the next year of my life on. And, so anyway, that's my goal for the next year. And like definitely, like people ask us all the time, they're like, are you not doing Optavia anymore? I've been pretty honest about it on here. I've been off program for a while. Like I just haven't been doing what I needed to be doing. I guess I haven't like specifically said I'm not doing it, but I'm not doing it. Like I just haven't been for a couple weeks now. And so, like Alex asked me today, he's like, you're going to get back on doing it. You've got all that food in there. I was like, yes, July 1st is my day to get back on. Because I'm not going to try to BS myself when I can't do it. We're doing stuff for my birthday, hopefully. Saturday is Alex's mom's birthday. Well, my birthday's Saturday, but we're doing stuff for my birthday tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, because I got a whole weekend of my birthday stuff, because his mom, we're doing like a party for her on Saturday night. And then Sunday, we're going to go out to brunch and maybe go see a movie, and I'm not going to sit there and, you know. So, Monday, I'm going to be back on program, and I'm excited about it. Which also means that starts with me getting back on track with working out. I've been doing the training and all that stuff. Thank God I've kept up with that. But I didn't even know I was at the end of that. I guess I always say I'm not going to go very long, and now I've gone for like, what is that? 23. It's like 26 minutes plus, or 46 minutes plus, something like that. So anyway, yeah, that's my goal. But last night I got home and I was like, I want to kind of do like my skincare routine and really enjoy it tonight. So I washed my face with the Lush Kalamazoo face wash, which I love. And then I had bought this hydrating face mask. I don't know who makes it. It's watermelon though. And I bought it at Sephora. It's not Laneige. It actually might be Laneige, but I don't think so. It's right by where they have the Laneige stuff, the lip stuff. Oh, you know what I forgot? So when I was in Sephora last time, I bought a new lip balm. I actually bought it like the day of or the day before the pageant started. It's Pear. Did I show it in here? Where is it? Maybe I lost it, and that's why. Oh no, here it is. Isn't that so cool? So this is and it wasn't expensive either. It was like $7 or $15 or something, but no more than that. And they have like 6 different flavors. And so every night I use, well, not every night, but when I do the skincare routine at night, I do the Laneige hydrating lip mask, which is basically just like flavored Vaseline. This is fantastic. These are really nice for really hot days in the car, if you're going to keep a lip balm in the car or in the pool, because even though if they melt, they don't, like, you know, it's easier not to, like, get off. Like, this would melt and just be all over my car. Even though I take my fanny pack in places with me, which basically serves as a purse. So anyway, I have another Champion one that's almost identical to this, but it has a big C on it. I have so many fanny packs, I need to start switching them out like purses. But anyway, so I did, last night, I did the Kalamazoo face wash, and then I took my contacts out, which I've been sleeping in my contacts a lot lately, and which is not great for my eyes. And then I did the watermelon hydrating face mask. Oh, no. Underneath here, I put the, I think it's called Alpney, the eye lotion. It's the one, Elle Leary sent it to me. Elle, you are so fantastic to me. I just want to say, Elle Leary has been one of the greatest people I've met some real shits, you know, through doing YouTube, but I've met some really fantastic people too. And Elle has been one of the most fantastic people that I have ever met in my life, let alone, I mean, just so unselfish, and constantly, it's not even about the sending of products. I mean, any question I have, she answers, and, you know, anything I'm confused about, and, you know, like, I don't do a lot of sponsorships, and so, like, if I have questions about it, I reach out to her, and she's like, oh yeah, this is what you need to say, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, she is so good to me, and she's just been, like, as far as, like, going through stressful things, she's somebody that I know that I can trust, you know, which is so, Elle, I love you, thank you. She comments literally on every video that I post on here as well, so thank you, Elle. But she gave me this, I think it's called Alpney or whatever, it's this eye lotion. I love it. It's really thick, and you don't need a lot of it, but you can really see the results, like, literally the next day. And so I put that on, and then I put the watermelon hydrating face mask on, which I have to say, I love the smell of it, but the Belief hydrating face mask is still my favorite. It just is. It's thicker. You can feel it thicker on your skin, and there's something about that kind of very clean chemical smell that I kind of like late at night. I don't know. It just makes me feel like very clean at night before I go to bed. I like that. And then, what did I do after that? Oh, then I did a Jeffree Star lip scrub. I did the lemon icebox cookie. His lip scrubs are fantastic. I mean, love the man or hate the man, I don't care, but his lip scrubs are, they're unbelievable. If his makeup products are like his lip scrubs, then they probably are fantastic, because his lip scrubs, I've tried every lip scrub out there. Jeffree Star's lip scrubs are the best lip scrubs, hands down. And you don't need a lot of them either. And I can tell you, I've had mine more than a year, and they're still good. So, and then I did the Laneige hydrating lip mask on my lips. And then I usually spray my face with like a primer mist. I have like one from Bath & Body Works, and I have another one, I can't remember, I think it's by MAC. But Elle just sent me the Tatcha Glow Skin, or Skin Glow spray, which you can like put on during the day or over makeup and stuff like that. I think it's, you're purposely supposed to put it over or under makeup. I read the back of it. But I put it on my face last night to go to bed. Oh my God, just to hydrate my skin even more. And oh, it was so perfect. It was so nice. And that's, of course, what she does. She gets me hooked in these high-end products that then I end up having to have because they're just so fantastic. And I feel bad that you spent that much money on me, but thank you so much. It was wonderful. And then I went and lay down, and I got up today. And so my skincare routine in the morning is a little bit different. If I have more time, I wash my face with a Kalamazoo face wash, and then, well, first I put my contacts in, then I wash my face with the Kalamazoo face wash, and then I usually do this under eye stuff, and it's called, you know that, they're over-the-counter products, Say Yes, it's like Say Y-E-S or something like that. It's this cucumber eye lift, and out of every eye lift I've ever found, it's my favorite, and this product is not expensive, and it's lasted me 6 months. So I just dab it around my eyes, because what it does is it kind of like lifts the eyes up a little bit. It's really nice, and it smells just like cucumbers. And then, I like do the Lush Cup of Coffee face mask. The thing about that face mask that is so fantastic is that it really does, it wakes you up because of the sensual smell. Not sensual like as far as like ooh la la, but sensual is like the smell. It has coffee grounds in it. It smells like a cup of coffee. So it really does kind of wake you up, but it wakes up your skin too. It gives your skin kind of like this nice red glow to it. But you can't use it every day, which I found, if you guys know, I used to do it every day on there, and it was like my face was turning red and I didn't know why. I didn't mind at the time, but I don't want that all the time. So I don't do it every day. But I will tell you what I do is I pat the eye gel around my eyes, and then I put the cup of coffee face mask in, and then I move the two together around my eyes. So I actually do the cup of coffee face mask pretty closely around my eyes, because it really tightens my eyes up a lot, which you're probably not supposed to do that, but I don't really care. And then after that, that's when I'm gonna take a shower first and then go do stuff, because then it's easier for me. Just that cup of coffee face mask is so thick and so grainy that it's hard to get off with just like, a washcloth or your hand, soap and water and stuff like that, or cleanser. It's easier to get in the shower and just wash it all off. So today I wasn't gonna take a shower till after I filmed my videos. So I did the eye gel, and then I sprayed on the, what's it called? I really like this product too. It's kind of like the Skin Glow mist from Tatcha that Elle just sent me, but it's some people will probably say they don't like this product. It's the, what's that brand name by the guy that owns it? Okay, it's Too Faced Cosmetics, and it's the hangover spray, and it's like 2-in-1 something hangover spray, and it like supposed to like reduce the puffiness, and really, I'm telling you, like that, y'all know I don't even drink. That product, I mean, you put that on and you go run errands for a half an hour, get your coffee and come back, and your skin looks like you went and had a facial. I mean, I'm not even lying to you. That stuff is worth it. It is so worth it. I think Elle might have sent that to me originally too, but I don't know if I bought it at Sephora or whatever, but I love that so much. So, yeah, and that's what I do. And then I don't do a lip scrub in the mornings anymore, because I feel like it's too much on my lips. What I do, put like some kind of really heavy, like I wouldn't use this. I would use like the Kiehl's lip balm, something really thick on my lips in the morning. I'm really weird about my lips cracking. And I know this is kind of a corny conversation, but like I really do care about this stuff. And like I don't care about the Botox and all that kind of stuff, but I do really enjoy like taking care of my skin. And the thing is, for me, is it's not even so much about the wrinkles or all that kind of stuff to me. It is really about the enjoyment of the process, how relaxing it is for me, how much I enjoy trying the new products, the smells of the new products, all that stuff. I really like that. It's really fun for me, But I will tell you that it's a trap, because there was a period, which you probably know on here, where I was literally going to Lush like every other week and buying all kinds of products. I haven't gone into Lush. Oh, I should probably do that tomorrow and treat myself for my birthday. I haven't been to Lush, and I cannot tell you how long. I am going to do that tomorrow. That'll be fun. And I'll go to Sephora too. But I haven't been to Lush in forever. And the thing is that I'll either go tomorrow or I might go Saturday. I either love or hate their products. Like, and I can honestly say hate. Like, and it's not like we should say we shouldn't hate something. I mean, I can really strongly dislike a product. Like their Ocean Scrub, Alex loves it. I hate it. I don't think it's comfortable. I can't get it off my skin. I think it's gross. I don't like it. I don't like their hair bars whatsoever. I bought the Daddy-O one because it's supposed to be for white hair. I don't even know if it works on my white hair. I hardly ever use that product. I have the conditioning bar because I have the shampoo. I have the Daddy-O shampoo and the conditioning bar. Why they would make a conditioning bar and not a conditioner that is liquid is beyond me, except for it's just real gimmicky. But I do not like those conditioning, and Alex loves the shampoo bar. He uses the shampoo bar that's for curly hair, and he loves it. I cannot stand the bars. I just, like, on my hair, they just don't work. The shower, they now have the shower bombs instead of just bath bombs. Waste of money. I don't like them. But then, like, Fairly Traded Honey shampoo, probably one of my favorite shampoos I've ever used in my entire life. Veganese conditioner, literally probably one of my favorite conditioners I've ever used in my entire life. The other day, Elle actually sent this to me too. I found Mr. Dandy's hair candy. I forgot that I had like complained so bad that I wanted that stuff, and I used it all last summer. And I found like a container of it that I had like kept really nice. And so I have that, and I opened it up. It's like perfect. Like it's still in great shape. So I used it the other day. And I set it out so I could continue to use it. And I like cleaned out all of our hair care products and stuff like that. So I do love the Lush stuff. Sephora is dangerous for me too. Sephora's, I love Ulta probably more than Sephora, because I just feel like it's more, Sephora I used to love more than Ulta, and I thought the people were rude at Ulta. I don't know, but they're not rude anymore. They're super friendly to me. But Ulta I feel like is more shopper friendly, and Sephora is more confusing for me. But I don't dislike either one of them now. I'll go to both of them. Sephora feels a little bougier to me. But I feel like both places I walk in and I know I'm going to at least spend like $100. Somebody will probably correct me on this. I might be wrong. But like one of the things I like about Ulta is that they have some brands that Sephora doesn't. So like they have the Body Shop, which I like some of the Body Shop body sprays that they have that are like, you know, and facial sprays that like wake you up and things like that. And, they have some body butters and stuff that are really, really good. It's just fun to get into all of that stuff, you know? And, but there's a lot of money to be spent on that. I have to be very, very careful with what I'm spending on that stuff, you know? Because often what I'll do is I'll end up buying, I mean, I have friends of mine that I talk to all the time that buy makeup. And, did I show my roses on here? I don't know if I did this or not. Rich Lux, I wanted to say this. Rich Lux sent me roses. I got home the other day. He was like, so you know, if you follow Rich Lux, he did this Hank and Henry lipstick like collaboration thing. And so he texted me and he was like, hey, like I forgot your address, because I had sent him my address before for this. He's like, I need your address for my new PR thing that I'm sending you. And I go, oh, well, what is it? Because we literally talk like every day on the phone. And he had not mentioned any PR thing to me. Well, he didn't respond. Well, then later when we were talking on the phone that night, I totally forgot to even ask him what his new PR thing was, right? So yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, yeah. I came home and there was this huge box on the front from the FTD or whatever that flower thing is. And I was like, oh, this is so sweet. Alex sent me flowers. And I get inside and it was from Rich Lux. It was so sweet. And yeah, so he sent me some beautiful roses and a beautiful vase and a really funny little card. And it was so nice. He sent it to me for my birthday. And he was like, I called him. I was like, girl, you are so sweet. You did not have to do this. He was like, well, I just wanted to make sure that you got those in time for your birthday. I know your birthday's Saturday, but I wanted you to enjoy it. So that was so nice. But that's not who I was talking to about makeup. But and he watches my vlog. So, Rich, thank you for the roses. I got you on your birthday, girl. So anyway, but I was talking to my friend that like buys tons and tons of makeup, and it's like she buys literally everything that comes out, and I'm like, she spends so much money on makeup, right? And she's like, I know, but I want the newest things, and I gotta have the newest things. And I'm like, well, this is part of the problem. At the time that I got really, really excited about like lip scrubs, I was literally buying every lip scrub that came out. Well, a lot of them, and it's basically just sugar, so it's not like it's gonna go super bad, right? But most of them are past a year at this point. Like, I really do need to throw them out and get some new ones. But see, there's an excuse to go buy some new ones that I don't want to do, so. Anyway, that stuff is fun, it's relaxing. You know, I was talking in my Peterisms video today. Was it my Peterisms video? I was talking about my Peter Monn video today about the need of, like, when we talk about taking care of our mental health, that taking care of our mental health can be going to therapy, going to counseling, going to a life coach, you know, getting a psychiatric, you know, checkup evaluation. It can be going to treatment for drugs and alcohol, or, you know what I mean, or any kinds of thing, you know. But taking care of our mental health can also be taking a bath for a half an hour, or, you know, if you're so busy taking care of the kids and your, you know, husband or partner, or working 3 jobs, or you just don't have any time to do it, you know, like, for me, sometimes just taking a book and sitting out on the front porch for 5 minutes, or even just sitting out there with no phone, nothing, and just watching people walk by is so good for me, you know, or just like watching like 20 minutes of like a Netflix series like I did tonight. doing a skincare routine that takes me 5 minutes before I go to bed, and then as I'm laying my head on the pillow, I can smell all of that, and my face feels fresh and nice, and it's so relaxing, you know? Like, that is self-care. And I think we don't talk enough when we're talking about beauty products and, you know, self-help and meditative books. I mean, I as well don't talk enough about it. The need for true self-care, you know? Like, my husband, one of the things that he loves to do is, like, you know, of course he takes, like, quick showers to get ready for work, but, like, once or twice a week, like, in the evening, he'll take, like, a half an hour shower, like, literally, like, crank the heat up, crank the music up in the bathroom, and he just, like, takes, like, a shower, uses all these products. Like, he loves to take really long, hot, I mean, where the entire bathroom is so steamy. He loves that, you know? And, I mean, that's self-care. That is all self-care, you know? Watching my mother back in the day, I think one of the best self-care things for my mother, who suffered from severe depression, was probably the fact that she watched comedies. She loved, like, slapstick comedy movies, and I think that was self-care. I think that was, you know, one way that she really, really helped herself take care of herself. And you know, I think at times that she got really, really down, she knew to go to that. And I think that's what it's about. It's about, you know, knowing what things will make us feel better in the moment and cheer us up, and or help get us unstuck, or even just, you know, like me every day, you know, like doing my, you know, gratitude list, or my prayers, my meditations, or just continuing to kind of like fill that. I hate when Linda, what's her name? Vicky on Orange County, Real Housewives of Orange County, used to talk about her love tank. But I think it's true. You know, I think as long as you continue to keep if you're not a person that suffers from severe psych issues and things like that, or personality disorders, where you do need to see somebody professional, okay? Because a lot of people do. You do, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just those of us out there that don't struggle with a lot of that and just need to take care of our mental health. When we are taking care of ourselves on a daily basis, okay, by, you know, like my mother loved to walk too. Like, that was something that she loved to do. And it doesn't even have to be something that's like super healthy. Maybe for you it's having a glass or two of wine in the evenings, you know? If you're not an alcoholic, have at it. You know what I mean? Or whatever your thing is, your go-to thing. You know, it's like, but you know, like my mother loved to walk. She walked every day. You know, and there's that, or, you know, just whatever it is that makes you happy, and but as long as it's not, you know, really bad for your health or anything like that, you know, as long as you're, you know, making sure that you're taking care of your mental well-being on a daily basis. And then the more you do that over and over and over again, okay, and it becomes part of your routine, then I think that when things happen to us, we can better handle them. And that's where I talk about today, like, my peace and serenity is not a luxury for me. It's something that I have to work on, because when I'm not taking care of it, it goes away quickly. It's like one of the first things that goes away. And then all of a sudden I'm standing there and I'm dealing with some kind of huge issue, tragedy in my life, you know, like my aunt passing away, and I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this. But I think the reason that I was able to handle that or deal with that at that time was because I did have this toolbox that I had been working on some things at that time, you know, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that my ass was in, you know, the rooms of 12-step program, and that I, you know, was working diligently on my program at that time. Because had I not been, I don't know, I might have been a mess, you know? So I think it's important, and I hope that you guys continue to do some self-care. I want to say something really quick before I get off here. Two things. I received a comment on my video from a mother of a transgender child who thanked me for helping their family, for helping her see things in a different way when I was talking about that love is love. I got so moved by that comment today. And if I never, you know, it's comments like that like, I don't care. If I never got another comment on another video, and I, you know, whatever, that I would continue to make videos on this channel for as long as I can continue to make them, for just that one reason alone. You know, when I get a comment from somebody that says, you sharing your story of going through treatment made it easier for me to go check myself into treatment, thank you. When somebody says, you know, like, you made me look at my relationship with my child differently because of what you said, I want you to know that doesn't have anything to do with me, okay? I just shared my experience, and you related to it, and you made the change. And that is everything to do with you and the power of love and the power of being a human being and our ability to change in this world. And our ability to change when we decide we no longer want to feel the way that we felt before. It was a powerful, powerful comment. I was so moved by it. And I really, really think that the reason I was so moved is because it proves what I have believed for a long, long time, is that change really starts with just one person sharing their story with another person, and they're sharing their story with somebody else. So please, in the future, to that person out there, that mother, when you are ready, and not today, but maybe years down the road, share your story with somebody else that you might be able to help them as well. Because that's the only way. It's the human experience. It was us sharing one thing to the next, you know? And I just want you to know that how much, like that, like, you guys leaving comments on my videos, it just, I don't think you have any idea how much you move me on a daily basis. Like, you really, really do. And the second thing I want to say is that somebody said in my comments last night that they used to think it was cheesy when I would say, do you look in the mirror at the end of the day and tell yourself, I love you, to yourself? And they started doing it, and now they do that all the time. And I got so tickled out of that. I loved that you said that, because it's gonna stop, so let me just stop it now. Hold on. Okay, I got so tickled by that because it is cheesy, it is corny, and sometimes those things that help us the most are the ones that are the cheesiest and the corniest. And then she was saying like how much it really helped her, so I loved that you said that, because sometimes in my videos at the end I almost don't even want to say it. I'm like, do people even want to hear me say that anymore? You know, and the only reason that I continue to say some of those things is because I get comments from people that say, you know, when you say, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you, that's the only time I hear it in a day. So if somebody says to me, I used to not say I love you to myself in the mirror, but I've started saying it and it's really changed things, I'm going to continue to say it, you know? Because I think that those things really, really help us. And those things that people have continued to say to me over years that I wasn't initially willing to hear when they first said them to me, over time have made a difference. I want you to know your comments make a difference to me on a daily basis. I hear them, I listen to them, they help shape further videos, and it feels to me like an ongoing conversation. And you know, your stories are just as important as anybody else's stories, and don't ever forget that. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday, unless you have other plans. But don't, because life is not a dress rehearsal. It's not. Life is fragile, and we don't know how long we're going to be here. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself, I love you. Believe it. And if you find yourself looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, and it not feeling natural and it not feeling right, ask yourself, why don't I feel comfortable saying that? And in that, you will find what you need to work on with yourself. Tell somebody else that you love them, because somebody else may not hear it unless they hear it from you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love you.